There's a dangerous lie that a lot of good men believe. The lie is struggling financially makes you more spiritual, or that depleting your savings account is an act of faith when you have a family to feed. That isn't faith, that's foolishness. I've seen men delete their family's future because they thought that God wanted them to be broke. They confuse stewardship with guilt. If you want to lead your family, you need resources. And today, we need to have a very hard conversation about the difference between being generous and being exploited. Let's talk about how to stop apologizing for building wealth. What up, world? Welcome to another episode of RMT. That's Real Man Talk. It's your boy, Stan the Man, coming to you with another great conversation piece on today. And before we get started, I want to thank you for joining me here on RMT. Today, we're going to talk about broke on purpose. Being broke is not a badge of honor, especially if it's going to prevent you from providing for your family. Right here, I look at my notes at 1 Timothy 5 and 8. Anyone who does not provide for their relatives, and especially for their own household, has denied the faith and worse than an unbeliever. Worse than the unbeliever if you don't provide for your own family. Stop letting people guilt you into giving up your rent money. Stop letting people guilt you from giving up your mortgage money. Stop letting people guilt you to giving up their car payment. Stop letting people guilt you into giving up your light bill. Stop letting people guilt you into giving up your hard-earned dollars that you have made a sacrifice to be at that job, to spend time away from your family, to be able to provide some things that you couldn't normally provide, but because you worked this overtime, you're able to do it. But now you're willingly, or you are tricked, or you are manipulated in order to give this person your money. And if your table is empty because you are generous elsewhere, then you have totally missed the mark. If I can use this for example, ESPN has a documentary called Broke, which it kind of documents the financial struggles that some of the professional athletes that have made millions had. And it's funny how people will be okay asking you for money or asking for your help or asking for you to dedicate some of your time to help them. And that's okay. But on the other side, if you don't learn how to say no sometime, if you don't learn how to say, you know what, I just can't do it, people will continue to milk and take as much as they can from you. Now, am I saying that God won't bless you for helping folks? But at the same time, we have to use the common sense that He gave us as well. So if we're going to be a steward, the steward has to make sure that they're making sound decisions financially, mentally, and emotionally. So, and then most of the time we talk about steward over money, we have to steward over our time, steward over our emotions, steward over our presence. We have to steward over multiple things and not just financial. And so even those guys, when they went broke, what happened was like when they went broke, everybody want to talk about they had all that money, and all of it gone. They blowed all that money. But you know what? The people that helped them, they didn't ever come on a documentary and said, listen, he went broke because he helped me do this. He went broke because he helped me do that. Do you don't hear anybody coming up to say have an interview to say that? He had broke because he missed practice to come and help me do this. Or he came and helped me did that. You never hear any of those things, but the only thing you hear is them losing their money and people laughing because, hey, if I would have had that much money, I would have never lost all that money. So it's easy to say what you could or couldn't do when you're not in that position. It's easy to say that. It's easy to say, well, I say no. It's easy to say, well, I wouldn't help them. It's easy to say each and everything that you wouldn't do when you're not in that position. One of the things people will trick you at is saying, because you're giving, you're a good person. You're a good man. You're a great man because you're giving. Time, money, emotions, whatever it might be, you're a good man because you're doing that. They also say, man, you sacrificing, man, that's so noble of you to let this go and to do this for us. Man, that's so noble of you. Then just running yourself in the ground to help people. Man, you so righteous, man. You just doing this for everybody. Like, thank you. That's why everybody start to get over on you, because if you crave the praise from the people, you will always be without. You should be expecting your work to please him and not for you to please man. And when you crave to please man, you don't be a proper steward, because man is never fulfilled no matter how much you give. Ain't never gonna be pleased no matter how much you give. It's never gonna be a problem solved no matter how much you do. It's never gonna be you being around enough no matter how much your presence is there. It's never gonna be enough when it comes to man. And we think as men, if I just give all the time, if I just be there all the time, if I just work myself to death, then I'm being a proper steward and I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. And that's not the truth. Then when they see that they broke, what everybody do? They laugh at them. They watch the documentary. Hey, man. And secretly they be like, man, I'm glad it wasn't me, because I wouldn't have gave nobody nothing. I wouldn't have gave nobody nothing. And then, they always use this, especially when you're in church, that God loves a cheerful giver. They always use this when they're in church. God loves a cheerful giver. He loves a cheerful giver. So you need to be happy giving up this money. He's gonna go back. He's gonna overflow. Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this real quick. Now, if he already giving you a surplus in what you previously had, do that mean I'm gonna go give that all to the church? Does that mean that I'm gonna take all that? Are you going to? Let me ask you this. Are you going to be happy given that amount that you gave, and then you come back and you're going to be happy that you did it? Ask yourself that. If I give this today, will I be happy with myself tomorrow? If I go and do this for this person, am I going to be happy with myself? If I go and I go help my homeboy move, if I'm going to be happy with myself the next day? Because some of us do stuff to look good in front of people, and we be angry and be upset in the background. We be losing money in the background. We be into it with our spouse in the background because we giving away from the house, and then we mad because that person didn't do the same for us. Or another thing is that we're doing stuff just to get a return on whatever that person, like if I help him move, if I do something, he gonna do it for me. Man, sometimes when you do stuff, you might as well just do it and just say, man, I'm just doing this out the kindness of my heart, because they might not do it for me. They might not even do it for me. And when you come to that realization that they might not do it for me, your life will be better, because you won't be expecting nothing back from that person. See, we expect too much back from man. We expect too much from them when they not able to live up to their expectations sometimes. We hold them in such high regards, and we forget that they human and they might not never be able to fulfill those obligations that we holding them to. Then God expects a ROA. Do y'all know what that is? ROA, return on investment. Yes, he expect a return on investment. That overflow that he's giving to you, what is he gonna get in return? And let me say this because let me get to this real quick. Matthew 25, right? He's teaching in parables, and in those parables, it teaches about multiplication and not stagnation. See, he had, I'm just paraphrasing, this is not exactly, it was three men that came and he gave each one of them talents. The one he gave to the most talents, he doubled his, and the second one he doubled his. The third one he only gave one talent to. And by him giving him only one talent, he went and hid it and he didn't do anything with it. So after he hid that one talent, he was upset with him. The servant who buried his talent out of fear was called wicked and lazy. The ones who invested and grew it were praised. And see, sometimes stewardship is not just about holding your money, but also investing it and making sure that it grow. See, stewardship is not just about holding your money or just blindly giving it away. It's about managing resources so they can grow. You can't help anyone if you have zero resources because you prematurely gave it all away. So you prematurely gave it all away. See, we have like tax season. Tax season come around. Some people they get, a lump sum of money. And with that lump sum of money, they got the thing, go get a car, go get a TV, go out to eat, buy some clothes, buy some shoes, catch up on some bills, and then the money gone. Like, what are you planning to do? Are you just getting the money and just, okay, I'm going to do this, I'm going to just do that? Or are you planning, okay, this money going to be for this, we're going to do this with this, or we're going to do this with this? Are you planning it out? And see, a lot of those players, they lost their money. They weren't playing it out, or they weren't used to having any of that money. And if we're being honest, and I'm not saying everybody, but a lot of us might not be used to having money, or we're afraid when we have extra money on what to do with it. See, some people are afraid of being successful. This show that used to be on is called Survival Remorse. And that's when somebody get to a financial or they get to a place in life where they feel like I feel bad because I made it, but ain't nobody else make it. So now I made it. Everybody else making me feel bad. I got to help everybody out. But you're not going to continue to be able to help anybody out if you blowing all of your resources, if you blowing all of your money. Now, let me say this. Am I getting on here like I'm a goody two shoes? Like I've been perfect with my money. I done made all the right decisions. I done did all the right thing with my money. I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna lie to you on here and say that. But what I will say is that the smarter that you are with your money, the better decisions that you make with your money and your resources, the better off you'll be later in life. The better off you'll be. Because as a man, when you start messing up your resources, you start messing with your household. You start messing with your family. You start taking food off their plate. You start taking the security blanket around them. You start pulling that away. Because your house is your first ministry. And if at your house, if you're not doing what you need to do at home, how can you go outside of your home and start to say, well, I'm gonna do this, but you can't steward at your house? The first place you need to learn to steward is at your house. And when I say steward, not only your money, but your relationships, your emotions, your time. That's when your first stewardship starts right there. And a lot of you are successful, but you're not going to get blessed the way that you seriously need to be blessed because at your house, you're not taking care there. And I didn't start to really, I didn't really start to get blessed until I started to fix my home first. And it started with me fixing me. But once those blinders of the world once I took those blinders off, I was able to see not only my mess, but the messes I had made within my house. Not counting the messes I had outside, but the messes that I had inside of my home. So not only did I had to be a good steward and clean up what was at my house and clean up myself, but I had to take care of that first. And then it takes time when you done messed up things for years. I'm gonna just say this: they got this show called Hoarders, and Hoarders, when these people have took and piled up stuff for years, it might have been one person, but they go in different rooms and they have stuff just piled to the ceiling of just different things that they collect, regardless of what it is. If it's garbage, magazine, dolls, whatever, these rooms are just piled up. And they did that over years, years. And so when people go in there to clean up, it might take a whole crew. It might take 20, 25 people to come in there, and it might take them a couple of days. Might take them a week to clean it up, what one person did over years. And see, that what happened with us when we start to steward back over our life and over our family, it might have been stuff that we had done for years that now we got to go back and clean up, and it don't happen overnight. It might take you years to clean up some stuff that you messed up, some stuff that you did, financially, emotionally, time, whatever the case might be. And I'm going to tell you this, time you never get back. Time with your children, time with your wife, time with your family, time with your parents, you never get that time back. That's why you want to be over that time big. And I'm going to say this to a lot of young men out here. I'm about to be 43 this year. And I'm going to tell you this. Time with your friends, drinking, smoking, kicking it, or whatever. I'm not saying don't go out and live your life. Vacation, go travel, see different places. But what I'm saying is this. You wasting time hanging with your friends to smoke, get high, or to go get drunk, or to go even in some illegal activity. That's cool. But that's going to take time away from your mama. It's going to take time away from your daddy. Take time away from your grandma. Take time away from your kids. And guess what? When they pass away, you'll be like, man, I wish I would have spent more time with them. I wish I would have stewarded that time better, that I could have spent more time with them, but I wanted to hang out. I wanted to smoke weed. I wanted to get high. I wanted to drink. I wanted to do something illegal that locked me up and took me a time away. Some people have lost their parents in jail, lost their grandma in jail, lost their kids while they're in jail. And they couldn't be there for them. They couldn't protect them. They couldn't be there with them in their last moments because they didn't properly steward their time and what they was doing. And am I saying, I'm being an old grouch saying, oh man, don't have no fun, don't do this? No, I'm not saying that. But I'm saying, be wise with your time. Also, not only just your money, but be wise with your time, with your people, with your family. Because I'm going to tell you this, if you got parents that truly love you, if you got a wife, you got children that truly love you, that time is going to be limited with them. Because the enemy going to try to do as much thing to come between y'all to kill all that time. And then what he going to do, when you get back time with him, he going to make you feel bad about the time that you miss. I'm telling you that from experience. He going to try to make you feel bad. Oh, you should have been there now. It's too late. It's too late now. It's too late now. They grown. They finna get ready to go. Why you trying to spend time with them now? Why you trying to have a relationship with them now? He gonna try to make you feel bad for you want to change and you want to do better, but don't stop there. Don't stop just because of that. Keep pushing and keep doing what you need to do. I just got off track a little bit, but I'm back now. Yeah, keep doing what you need to do. And then that leads me to my next thing. You can't rescue grown people from their own choices. And that's the thing about people trying to make you out to be a bad person when you don't save them from their mess. They're trying to make you out to be a bad person, and it's not for you all the time to step in and not only have something to say but try to fix it. See, one thing, my wife, she pulled me to the side and said, "Baby, you got to stop giving unsolicited advice. Some people don't want that advice. Some people just, and then me, if I'm going to help you, I'm going to give you my advice and I'm going to get in your business. Then sometimes I'm not even going to help you because some people need to learn a lesson. Even with my children, I love my daughters dearly, but sometimes I have to get out the way and let them see about life. I'm not gonna have them homeless or nothing like that, but sometimes you gotta let them scrape their knee and be like, hey, you're gonna be okay. Spray a little antiseptic on there, put a band-aid on there and you keep going. Helping someone in a crisis is one thing, but constantly funding bad decisions, people that's lazy, lack of discipline. Like, if somebody coming to you every month and they need some help with a bill, a light bill, I need help with a cell phone bill, I need help with this, and like, you shouldn't be coming to me every month needing help with all your bills. That means you need to be working some overtime, or you need to downgrade some stuff, or whatever the case might be. But they will try to guilt you into being a bad person if you didn't help them with their bad decisions. That's where a lot of NBA players, that's where a lot of men, that's where a lot of people get into situations because they make you feel bad. They guilt you into giving them their money. Oh, you think you all that because you got this and you got that, and so you don't want to talk to us no more. So now, oh man, well, it ain't right. They get you feeling bad. Then you go ahead and give to them. See, you are not called to burden yourself to ease somebody else. Because even it's right here. I don't mean that others should be eased and you burden. There's a difference between sacrificial giving and irresponsible giving. If a church or a leader is pressuring you to give money that you don't have, that's manipulation. That's not faith. Because sometimes, even when people being emotional, even when people being manipulative, even when people are trying to pull on our heartstrings, we have to make sure that we're using wisdom and we create boundaries. Because sometimes you just don't have it to give. You be wanting. I have been there before when someone that you love, someone that you care about, someone that you have dead, someone that you have done a lot of things for, and they come to you and ask you for some money. You have it to give, but you don't have it to sacrifice to give to them. You got it just in case something happened to y'all, or it might be something coming up, and you need that money. And they come and they ask you for it, and you give it, and you be like, okay, you say you're gonna give it to me in a week. So you plan on them giving it to you next week because you got something to take care of next week. So you banking on them holding their word. Then when it come to it, they don't answer the phone. They don't answer the text. But we had a conversation, and you said that you was gonna give me the money. We had a conversation, and you said next week when you get paid, you get your check, you was gonna give it back to me. You didn't never call or text and said something changed, so I could adjust something on my end. You just told me, and I believe you. But then when it came down to it, you ain't hold your end up on a bargain. Then when I came to talk to you about it, you got an attitude with me about money you owe me. Wow. Wow. How many of y'all done been there? Somebody got an attitude with you about money that they owe you. Now, you looking at it, man, I'm in a hole. I should have just kept my money because I had something to do. I had something to do. I say this. When it comes to lending or doing for people, yeah, it's cool to help people out. Ain't nothing wrong with helping people out. But how much help I need to give you? How much help I need to give you? Because if you look at it, let's think about this. Even the government has a even the government has a ceiling on how much help they give to a person. If it's Social Security, is it financial aid? If it's government assistance like food stamps, if it's food stamps, housing, vouchers, they have a ceiling on which they stop you on. I'm gonna give you these many food stamps if you got these many kids. You can stay in this house if you have these many kids. You can have this voucher amount gonna be for this daycare for this many kids. See, they even have rules and regulations that they go by. But when it comes to us, people expect us not to have any rules or any regulations. But any other place they go to, you have a limit and they okay with following the limit. They're okay with following the limit. Let me ask you this. Have you ever saw somebody go and put air in their tire and you know it's a certain amount of air pressure that you have to put in a tire? Have you ever saw somebody say, you know what, I'm going to put more air in this tire than I need to put in here? Because that tire eventually explode if you put too much air in there, or you drive down the road, hit anything, as soon as it hits something, it'll pop. So people make sure they put the right amount of air pressure in that tire that the car maker suggests so they can be safe. You need to do the same. When people asking for stuff, when it's doing something in your life, we need to set up parameters that keep us safe, to keep us from popping, keep us from going over the edge, keep us from going off on our family or having issues with our family because we done went too far. We done went above the ceiling that we have been given or we didn't never set. And so since we didn't set any boundaries, people feel like I can continue to ask, I can continue to do, I can continue to pull you here and there whenever I want to because we haven't set anything up. But you know what? People are okay going by the rules because some people know they're going to go to jail, but they okay. You see that the person that's constantly asking you for something, they know how to follow the rules. Because they follow the rules on other things. So I'm gonna tell you this. You ain't gonna believe this. I promise you ain't gonna believe this. My dad said this to me. He said, if you say no, they still gonna love you. If you say no, they still gonna love you. They might be mad at you, but they still gonna love you if you say no. They'll be okay with you saying no, and you got to start being okay with you saying no. Listen, money is just a tool, but you can't build Listen, money is just a tool, but you can't build a house without tools. Stop apologizing for wanting to build wealth. Build it, secure your family, then you can be generous from a position from strength and not weakness. If this hit a nerve, or if you've been guilt tripped into spending your money before, hit the subscribe button. We're talking about the things that most men are too afraid to talk about. Listen, I appreciate y'all tuning in. If you want to get social with me, hit me up. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Real Men Talk Podcast. Like, comment, subscribe. Share this with someone that you think it'll help. And we believe that every man that we save is another household mended. Until next week, I'll see you. Peace.